Patosi trains with Cape Town City. A Chiefs target could be moving abroad. This and more in the new episode of the Daily Roundup. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pule and I am your host. If you are here for the first time and you're wondering what is this channel about, well, in this channel, this is where fans meet and talk about football, and specifically Kaizer Chiefs Football Club. So thank you so much for choosing this channel. I hope you enjoy. Let's go. So the first target that we want to talk about today is Ayanda Patosi. I am saying target because there's been rumors about Chiefs being interested in signing him and all that stuff. So I'm calling him a target. Now he was spotted training with Cape Town City, and yeah, now what he has said, he said that in terms of coming back to South Africa, I am open to anything, and I can't rule out anything. You can never really know, and I can't say I won't be coming back to South Africa next season. I do see articles online linking me with a return to South Africa, and that Chiefs and other clubs are interested in me. But I have not spoken to anyone about joining any of the clubs. So it's clear Uti, no one has talked to him, Chiefs hasn't contacted him, and at 29 you could see why Chiefs hasn't done that, but now they are chasing after Mmodi, so maybe there might be another reason why they haven't contacted him. Maybe they're still looking for another target. So it remains to be seen in Patosi, because for me, I was saying if we are forced, then that's the player that we would have to go for as a striker, because we don't have a striker, and Valencia seen a striker Soto and a backup in Piliat or winger really. So we need someone also back on and J like Patosi, so that in case we end up not getting whoever that we are trying to go after also by striker, then Patosi could be a really good striker. He is a good striker, so it remains to be seen. He says he's open to it. Moving on to the big news. So we had a lot of injuries last season. Utoli, Upiliati, Ganengi, Onukovic, Castro. Yeah, abantu belimala last season, and people were just getting injured, and it wasn't helping the fact that even Omshini now they were getting injured. And towards the season, abadlali belokhu belimala nje. So the good news is that Kaizer Chiefs have hired Mosimanes. So he is a strength and conditioning specialist. So basically uzobe basiza with the training and making sure that players don't get injured. So making sure that hey, your muscles, you're strong enough and all that, you don't get fatigued like easily and end up getting muscle injuries. So it's a really positive step and a statement. Ngangaba umdlali odlala grounding, but it's someone who's gonna help the squad that we have to last long and always be available. Because it doesn't matter if you have 30 people available, if 5 of them now get injuries, all of a sudden we are screwed, you know. Because even if you have a big squad, but if you don't train them well, then all of a sudden they struggle. It's something that I always say, well, kind of ukuthi one of the things about South African football eyenza sigcine singafiki kuma level abantu base Europe is that, for instance, players who play in Champions League, like league, top 5 leagues, they adhere to strict diet. If you don't eat the food, or that you don't stick to the diet that you are given by your training coaches, your dietitian and all that stuff, usenkingeni you get suspended etimini awudlali. But la South Africa umachanasa nje abantu uzokuthiwa bebeyiphuzela laba benzani laba, they are doing this and that, and you wonder why you see our players ending up gaining weight and not being successful overseas. It's because we do not take care of imzimba yabadlali, even nengqondo psychological, because some teams even bring in psychologists to help players deal with pressure and all that stuff. But in South Africa, it's like we're just focusing on telling grounding, go play. It's not all there is. So I'm glad Guti Chiefs has taken someone who has a master's in sports science ukuthi azodila with strengths sabadlali. So that's good. Big ups to them. And another update on Ukodi Sang Uguti today, the 27th of June, Braga B started training for the preseason. Now, it's not Braga, it's Braga B, which means the team that he plays for, but like the MDC. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, it's sad. So, okay, because Vele Gui Braga, the main team, he's not been included as the part of the 26-man squad for the season. So Vele, they've just relegated him to Braga B. Yet they don't want to sell him. They want him to improve go B and then bring him back to A. I don't like it. And Vele, the only thing that's possible for Chiefs is to get him on a loan move. Otherwise, he's gonna stay there because Braga is not interested in selling him. And Valley agent Yake is also saying they are looking for moves that can also happen in Portugal, maybe going to another team. Sizobona bafethu kunje I don't like this thing yokuthi a player is that thing is happening to him, and it would make sense if he came back on a loan, but it would also make sense to me if they try to find him another team overseas ukuthi azame ukuyiprova then go back to the team. So as a Kaizer Chiefs fan, you're looking and thinking this would be a good signing, but as a South African football fan, you're also thinking him staying overseas would also be good for South African football if he can prove himself. So sizobona ke because the transfer window ivala in August ukuthi what's gonna happen. But I hope as a Kaizer Chiefs fan he comes to Chiefs, and if he does stay overseas, I hope that he gets a better team and then he gets playing time and he improves. If you're enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe, like this video so that YouTube can spread it to more people like you. Now, let's go to Indaba Pitso. So, Pitso has made comments about Uzwane, and I don't know whether it's just the media, Uguti now, and us people in South Africa or anyone Uguti we like taking izinto ezincane and making them a bigger deal. Let me read Lente Show Pitso. So he says, so how do I say it can never happen to him? The question is he ready? Does he want it? Because I've never heard him say he wants it. I've been watching the television interviews. He never said I want it. It was vacant, it was open. He never said he wanted it. But because I know him, he is modest. But take it if you want it. Show that you want it. So this is Pitso Mosimane talking about Uzwane ukuthi he never heard Uzwane saying he want the job, your Kaizer Chiefs and all that stuff. So uthi nje ngathi kuvele kwathi hayi nanku umsebenzi available Uzwane thatha. So we in a way for many people they are making it come across as if he's saying Uzwane is not ready to be a coach. That's what people are saying. But Pitso towards the end of this thing, he does say, because I know him, he is modest. So kungenzeka nje ukuthi Uzwane ubengeke nami, that's the thing I thought ukuthi ngeke Uzwane to come out there and say I want this job, you know, because he actually did say it by the way towards the end of the season. Now that I remember, he did say it in passing, but then he says, but if there's a coach who comes in, then we'll help him. But the most important thing to the team is that there's continuity. That's what he said. I remember, maybe Pitso didn't listen to that interview. But still, regardless, abantu abangenzi manje seqala i-war between Pitso noZwane. No, does he want the position or kind of a thing yokuthi the important thing ukuthi he must show that he wants the job, which is an advice that I would give to anyone. I'm really not because I'm beefing with them, because some people are now saying, oh, Pitso wants a position here, Chiefs. But it's my opinion. That's what I think. Maybe you think differently. What do you think about Indaba Pitso? Let me know down on the comment section. That's actually the question of the day. The question of the day is, what do you make of the comments Pitso Mosimane about Uzwane? Do you think it's a big deal, or do you think he was just, you know, just talking in general? So I'll hear from you guys down in the comment section. Now, continuing with the people that we might or might not sign, we go to Uvilakazi Usbuda. So Uvila bafethu is 32, and apparently Amazulu is a cocoon and wanting. And as for Chiefs, when the thing was posted, ukuthi Chiefs want Uvila Junior just laughed with Twitter, and there was a signal ukuthi it's not happening. We are not signing Uvila. So by the looks of things, vele Chiefs will not be signing Uvila. Angazi ukuthi ngabe be desperate kanjani if they end up signing him, because I don't see ukuthi why would you take a 32-year-old who's not been playing the past few seasons with Sundowns. He was just on the bench, and yes, Shalulile in a scheme. Then if it's not Shalulile, it's Erasmus, and then when Uzomtata, Uzomenza, part of the rebuilding phase. We talked with the guys. I think Usipose to shout out Sipose to Limane. So what's happening is we're talking about other people who Chiefs could sign, and for example is Unox Mutizo. People were talking Guti. Umtizo is underrated, and Mina, this is what I said about Umtizo. I think he's a good striker, yeah, but I would put him in a category of the kind of strikers as Billiard. I'm not saying he's exactly like Billiard, but I'm saying he's those false nine sort of people about was who finish off the chances, who are good on their feet. But I feel like one of the things that make him underrated as a striker, it's because most strikers are physically intimidating or tall or this or that or very quick. But Umtizwa is just there in between, and as a result, he end up falling under the under J radar. Jalo, there's a good striker playing for Arrows. Because have you ever heard anyone being linked with Umtizwa? For example, there are players like that, even like Spurs, for instance, Son Heung-min. That player is really, really good. He is so good to Son, but you've never heard him being linked away. And into is Son extend his contract with Spurs, and you're like, really? There's no team that is trying to target Son. So I think it's the same thing with Motizo. He's a good player, but because kunabanye abadlali somehow in those positions that seem like they are known or have a bigger name, as to say, they end up just overtaking him, and it seems like he's a bad player, and he's actually a very good player who could maybe help Chiefs improve. And to another transfer that has kind of, or is kind of breaking down, is Urashun Doti, the Cape Town Spurs player, so left back and centre back, 20 years old as well. He's young enough, he could be part of this rebuilding project and all that stuff, but apparently there's been complications when it comes to how we're going to pay for him. So according to Kickoff, but indications are that the two clubs have so far not been able to agree on a payment plan on the fee that was agreed on in principle. So a payment plan ayitholakali dololo, and as a result agents ama representative kaDoti are trying to find a move for him to go overseas. So for him it would be a good thing, for Cape Town Spurs it would be a good thing, but for Chiefs not so much, because we're losing a player besomthola for 3 million, but we couldn't find a payment plan. The player might end up going overseas. So that is why I was saying it looks like financially Chiefs has reached its limits, but there's a Mmodi, but the striker haven't signed it. So it remains to be seen how is this actually gonna end up working out, because we definitely need a striker right now. We do. That goes without saying. So yeah, man. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what happens. So guys, let me know what you think about this news and the appointment of Mosimanes, about ama comments Pitso, about Doti, about Umtizo as well, and any other striker that we haven't talked about as a target Chiefs, down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Like the video, make sure that so that YouTube can spread it to more people like you. What am I saying? And until next time, remember, equals I'll pay no more.